Hi everyone, it's Tasha. Welcome back to my channel. I'm thrift shopping and I'm on the hunt looking for earthy, transitional style home decor. My goal is to create high-end decor moments in our home while paying a lot less than retail. Come on and join me for this thrift challenge. Well, just like always, I am off to the thrift stores this week to see what I can find. I do have a few things in mind that I'm sort of looking for, including some wooden frames that are a nice neutral color and a few other items. But for the most part, I'm just going and seeing what inspiration I can get and what items I find. I thought this coffee table was really interesting. I haven't seen one very often with an inset like that, and this one had this sort of hammered copper piece in the middle, which I thought was really neat. This particular thrift store called Trosa has tons of furniture, and I'm seeing lots of interesting pieces here, although I'm not particularly on the hunt for anything for our home except maybe an armchair for my daughter's room. I really like the pattern on this one. It almost looks kind of like those block print pillows that you're seeing a lot of, and I like the neutral colors of it, although the shape is not quite for me. And now I'm off to Mebane, North Carolina, and I'm here at Living Free Thrift Store.
Hi, my name is Madison and I'm the cashier here at Living Free Thrift Store in Mebane, and we have a men's house and a women's house, and it's completely free to all the residents, and it's to help people that are battling addiction and other life controlling issues.
I like to pop in this thrift store whenever I'm in Mebane. They do have lots of picture frames to look through and often a lot of small furniture as well. I thought that this wooden bowl was really pretty. I like the stripe detail around the side. Originally $12.99, it's just from Hobby Lobby, but it's only $2.99 here. I also thought that this leaf tray was stunning. I also like to look through the craft section at this store just to see what I find. This particular shopping trip, they had lots of stamps for sale in little bags, kind of by theme, and I found this winter themed stamp bag that I thought was really interesting. I'm also popping in this brand new thrift store on this trip. It just opened this past June, and it's really neat. It has a place for the kids to color up front, free coffee and popcorn. This is what I brought home from this thrift trip this week. So first of all, you will probably not be surprised to see that I brought home this leaf tray or bowl, whatever you want to call it. I love the color of this. I love the shape of it. I find a lot of maple leaves and leaves that are similar to that with the different points, which are great, but they, to me, signify more of kind of a fall feeling for some reason, whereas this is more of a rounded leaf that almost reminds me of the shape of like a lily pad or something. So to me, it's more of like a season neutral type of leaf. I would definitely leave this out all year round. And now look at these two pictures. I found this one on the right for sale at cherish.com. They're asking $450 for this piece and calling it a vintage item. So while mine doesn't have any markings and I can't be sure, I feel pretty good about myself for getting this one for $2.99. I think that I could style this just about anywhere and it would look wonderful in our home. Another thing that I brought home from Living Free were these two frames. I found them in separate areas of the store, but they were both $2.99, and I really appreciated the tone of the wood of these frames, as well as the fact that they both had matting and the simple fact that there were two of them that matched. So I've had these two landscapes printed for me at CVS, and these were downloaded and bought from an Etsy shop called North Prints that I mentioned in my last video as well. I like how these two go together, and even though I appreciate the matting in these frames, I'm going to try something different with them this time. If you've been following me for a while, you've seen this fabric before because I picked these 2 curtain panels up from the Goodwill bins and I've used them to recover a stack of books. I've also used this fabric to make some fringed placemats, and I've even used the remnants to cut some strips that I'm going to use for ribbons for tying packages and such. You may have noticed that fabric wrapped matting is popping up on some of your favorite design sites, and I've noticed that too, and I wanted to give it a try. So I have just cut a piece of this fabric that's a little bit larger than my matting here, and I'm going to be tracing the inner square here with my pencil and putting little marks for diagonal cuts that I'm going to make at each inside corner. I'm taking my fabric scissors and I'm making sure to cut a very straight point right into each inner corner, and then I'm cutting out the inner square to get rid of the bulk of that fabric. Now I have perfect little flaps that I can fold over and make the edges really perfect on the inside of this matting. If you're going to be trying this, just make sure to tuck those corners in really tightly. I'm just using a regular school glue stick for this. I also cut out squares at the corners on the outside so there wasn't so much excess fabric to fold over. I really love the extra touch that this fabric wrapping gives to this frame. I think that it just makes the picture look a little bit more high-end, and if not high-end, then at least a little bit more interesting and warm. Landscapes are obviously all the rage, but when has nature not been in style, honestly, so that's nothing new. But I love the way that this fabric wrapped matting looks with these landscape pictures, and I like how there is a nice little set of 2 here that I can style together for a bit of repetition. I've just put these right off the side in this little wall in my kitchen that needed a touch of something, and I'm very happy with these considering they came in at about $6 each between having the pictures printed and the frames that I bought at Living Free. Another idea that you can do with fabric is actually to wrap the frame itself. I haven't tried this, but I have seen it on some sites. This is a frame from Neiman Marcus that looks very pretty in this linen-y wrapped fabric. Another thing that I brought home from this thrift trip was this pack of winter stamps that I found at Living Free. I thought that this was a pretty good deal. It was $5.99 for the 7 stamps. I really like the size variation of some of these pine branches and pine cones, and I think that these will be perfect to spruce up some gift wrapping in the winter time. I like to use plain craft and butcher paper to wrap my gifts a lot of the time, and these stamps will make a nice finishing touch, especially with some of the ribbon that I've been saving up. I also brought home this pretty wooden bowl. I really like the shape of this one and the stripes around the sides. Wooden bowls like this can vary so much based on just the vendor and the size, but this one was only $13 from Hobby Lobby originally, but still for $2.99 I thought I would bring this home for my collection. Right now I have it here on the front table and I've been putting my keys inside. You know, some weeks just offer you up lots of goodies that you don't have to do much DIYing to, and other weeks there's lots of DIYs involved. This week just so happened to be light on the DIY. The only thing that I spruced up a little bit were those fabric wrapped mats, and the rest was just ready to go. But what a fun week. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like and leave me a comment letting me know what you enjoyed. If you haven't subscribed but would like to see more of these videos in your feed, go ahead and hit that button. And in the meantime, I will see you at the next video.